This lesson is on segment rays, parallel lines, and planes. So first let's discuss our learning target, what we want to get out of this lesson. All right, and I'm going to use this in first person. I will define, identify, name, and label segments, rays, parallel lines, and planes. So let's go over what a segment is. All right. A segment is a piece of a line with two endpoints. Okay, so if I take a line and I just take a piece of it, it's going to have two endpoints. Okay, we'll call these two endpoints A and B. All right, so to name a segment, we name it the same as we do for a line. We use 2 points, the two endpoints on the segment, and then we draw a segment symbol over top of it. The order doesn't matter, so we can also call it segment BA or segment AB. Okay, a ray is a piece of a line with one endpoint. Okay, so it's going to have an endpoint, and then it's going to go in one direction for forever. Okay, let's call this X and Y. So when you name a ray, you must start by using the endpoint first. That must be listed first. And then the direction it goes would be the second point. And then we draw a ray over top. Okay? Now if the ray was pointing the other direction, all right, we still want to pick the endpoint first. Sorry about that. The endpoint first, and then the direction it goes. Even though this ray is pointing to the left, we still name it with the arrow pointing to the right. Okay, next we have what's called opposite rays. Okay, opposite rays are two rays that share an endpoint and go in opposite directions. Okay, they have to go opposite of one another and start at the same endpoint, and they also have to be on the same line. Okay, so in this case, ray AB, which is this ray right here, is opposite of ray AC, which is right here. Okay, so they share a common endpoint and they go in opposite directions. Okay, next we have parallel lines. Okay, parallel lines never intersect and they go in the same direction. Okay, which means they are coplanar, which means they are on the same plane. Okay, so if I have this line right here, we'll call that line AB, and we have another line going in the same direction, call that line CD. Okay, those two lines traveling in the same direction, and they're never going to crisscross or intersect anywhere. Okay, so to name those, we say line AB is parallel to, this is the symbol for parallel, line CD. Okay, next we're going to talk about skew lines. Okay, just like parallel lines, skew lines never intersect, but they go in different directions. Which means they are non-coplanar. Okay? So picture an airplane traveling in the sky going east and west. Okay? At a different altitude, you can have an airplane flying in a different direction that will go underneath it. Okay? Another way to think about this too is if you have a road, okay? Let's say you have a bridge, all right? And a car is traveling on that bridge, and going underneath the bridge is another road, okay? And that car is traveling underneath the bridge, okay? These two roads are skew, meaning they're never crossing each other, but they go in different directions, okay? Next, we have parallel planes. Parallel planes are two planes or more that do not intersect, okay? That would be like the floor and the ceiling of a room, okay? Those two planes do not intersect, all right? So let's try some examples, all right? Here's a diagram over here. We're going to name the segments in the diagram, okay? So the first segment, we have this piece of the line, segment LP, or segment PL, okay? Either one. We also have this segment right here, segment PQ, or segment QP. And then we also have the big segment from L all the way to Q, okay? Segment LQ or segment QL. All right? Next, we're going to name the rays. Okay, let me erase that. Now we're going to name the rays in the diagram. Okay, so I'm first going to pick an endpoint. Okay, I'm going to start with this endpoint right here, endpoint L. Okay, now there's one ray going this direction from the endpoint L. Okay, so we can call that ray LP, or we can call it ray LQ. It's the same ray. All right. Next, we have the endpoint P. So we have a ray going that direction, which would be ray PQ. We also have the ray going in the other direction, which would be ray PL. Finally, we have the endpoint over here, Q. Okay, the only ray we have in this diagram going from Q would be going back in this direction. So that would be ray QP or ray QL. Okay? Always start by naming a ray with its endpoint first and then the direction in which it goes. When we name a ray, our diagram or our labels are always pointing to the right. Okay, on the same diagram, okay, we're going to do number 3. We're going to name two opposite rays in the diagram. Okay, now the only two rays that go in opposite directions both start from endpoint P. Okay, we have the one going to the right. That would be ray PQ. And we also have the ray going in the opposite direction from that same endpoint, ray PL. Those are both opposite rays. They start at the same endpoint and they go in opposite directions. Next, we're going to talk about naming some segments that are parallel to different ones. In this example, we're going to find segments that are parallel to segment PR. Okay, here is segment PR right here. All right. Now, I want to make sure that I pick segments that go in the same direction but will never intersect segment PR. So one of them would be this segment right below it, segment UT or TU, same thing. We also have the one down here that's hidden. That would be segment WV. And we also have finally segment SQ. Those three segments are parallel to segment PR. Next, we're going to talk about skew segments, okay? Skew lines. Those are going to go in different directions, but will not intersect the given segment. So let me highlight QV. This is segment QV right here, okay? That segment right here. Now I want to pick lines or segments that are not going to intersect that segment but don't go in the same direction, okay? Now RU, that is parallel. TT is parallel, SW is parallel. I'm not going to pick those. I want segments that will not intersect QV but go in different directions. First one I notice is segment PS. Okay? PS is on a different part of the diagram and it will never intersect this segment. So PS works. Okay? TW works. And there should be one more. Let's see. How about TU? And I think there's another one. PR. Okay, those segments are going in different directions, but will never intersect that segment QV. All right? Finally, we're going to discuss parallel planes. Okay, so number 6 says name the plane that is parallel to plane RQV. Plane RQV is going to be the right side of the box. Okay, there's only one parallel plane to that, and that would be the one that's opposite of it. That would be the left side. So that would be plane, and for instance, we can call this plane PSW. And that concludes the lesson on segments, rays, parallel lines, and planes.